All right, welcome to another episode of Ask the Expert here at Silca. Today we're going to go through chain cleaning. I know it's a topic we have gone over time and time again, and ways to do it, chemicals to use. This has been kind of our traditional approach here, starting with mineral spirits, a degreaser, acetone, all pretty harsh chemicals. They did the best job that we knew how to do. So we've really been working hard to try to figure out how do we do this in a better way. So today we can push all that aside and get rid of all those chemicals and use our chain stripper and wax prep product. So in just 10 minutes we can get this chain ready to go and ready to go into the wax pot and on your bike. So we'll go ahead and get started with getting this chain stripped down. Alrighty, now we have our chain in the jar. You can use your ball jar, water bottle, whatever you want to use. So once we get it in there, the chain stripper, we just need to cover the chain. The chain stripper is going to be an all-in-one cleaner. So it's going to thin the grease, degrease, and then have a clean rinse off, and then actually leave a little bit of a primer coating to help promote wax adhesion. So nice and simple, we'll screw the cap off, pour some over the top until we'll get enough in there to cover it. And then this step is about 5 minutes. So we're going to put the lid on, give it a good shake, and let it sit for 5 minutes. All right, now that we have that sitting in the chain stripper, letting it do its thing, we'll get about 1 ounce per chain is what it'll take to strip the chain. So we have a few ounces in here, maybe 3 or 4, which means really we could probably get about 3 chains out of just this jar. You don't need to dump it out and get rid of it. There's enough active ingredient in there to keep using it. So we'll go over an on the bike method in another video, but the chain off method here, which is really ideal for hot wax, we just let it sit here for 5 minutes. We'll shake it again and then rinse the chain off and we're ready to go. All right, now while we're waiting for the chain to be ready, we're just about there, about 4.5 minutes in. Some of the questions we keep getting are, is it only for a new chain? Can I do it in a used chain? You can absolutely clean a used chain with chain stripper. The 1 ounce per chain, we kind of have to throw that out of the window because it kind of depends on how many miles you've put on that chain, how much dirt's in there, what kind of chain lube, all of that kind of stuff. So it may take a little bit more of the product, but if you do a couple baths, you should be perfectly fine. You're just going to want to make sure that you get a relatively clear chain stripper before you rinse it. So as you can see here, we got a little cloudy, that's the grease. We'll give it one more good shake to try to get rid of anything. And then we have a jar now of just clean water. We'll dump it in there and get the all the chain stripper to rinse off. So we'll give it our good shake. Once we take this off, I'm going to pull the chain. And then just drop it in the water. And then we're going to give it a good shake in the water. Try to make sure we get all that off of there. If you have a hose outside or something like that, you could do that too. And then we will go ahead and pull this chain. Might help to have a few paper towels laying around. And then we'll go ahead and hang that chain up, let it dry, and then it'll be ready for the wax. So no need for mineral spirits, acetone, degreaser, any of that. Chain stripper, you do want to, when you dispose of it, we don't really know what's in the grease coming from these factory chains, so you want to go ahead and dispose of it with any other solvents or cleaners that you might have. So now that we have this chain stripped and ready to go, we can go ahead and throw it in a pot of wax and put it on the bike. All right, thanks for coming to another episode of Ask the Expert here at Silca. Now that we have our chain totally stripped and clean, we got some paper towels and just patted it down, made it most of the water off of there. There's probably a little bit still in the chain. Perfectly okay to go ahead and throw that in the wax. You'll see it bubble and kind of boil. Once that stops, that means all the water is out of the chain and wax has taken its place. So you can go ahead and put it in there, we'll call it damp, and have a freshly waxed chain ready to go in about 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to sales@silca.cc, and we'll see you on the next video.